I come to you from the MGM Healthcare in Chennai. It's an inspiring story. 19-year-old Aisha Russian from Pakistan has a brand new heart after transplant. An Indian heart is actually ticking in her. And with us, also her mother, Sanobar. Thank you very much for your time. How does it feel now after the transplant?
Good, very good.
And what's your dream now once you get back to Pakistan?
Study
What do you want to become?
fashion designer.
Fashion designing?
Yes.
Very good, okay. And for you, it was very difficult. You are a single mother, and tell us what you had to go through when your child was diagnosed with heart issue in Pakistan. It was very difficult.
यस मुश्किल तो बहुत था लेकिन फिर हम लोग यहाँ पर आए और डॉक्टर्स हमारे डॉक्टर बाला और डॉक्टर सुरेश राव इनकी टीम इन लोगों ने हमारे लिए किया है आयशा के लिए मतलब अनबिलीवेबल मींस कि इतना ज़्यादा अमाउंट मैं नहीं कर पा रही थी. हमने वहाँ पे कैंपेन भी चलाई थी मगर इतना अमाउंट नहीं हो रहा था.
You're relieved now. You're happy now.
यस सर, टू मच हैप्पी. मतलब मेरे पास अल्फाज नहीं है बोलने के लिए कि मैं क्या फील कर रही हूँ.
You wouldn't be able to spend this kind of money.
बिल्कुल भी नहीं.
What do you do? What do you do in Pakistan?
I'm a housewife, yes, home mother, yes.
We also have Dr. Balakrishnan and Dr. Suresh Rao. Thank you very much. Tell us about the challenges in this case, doctor.
Okay, this child came to us first in 2019. She was 14 years old, and she was very sick and with severe heart dysfunction. And if I remember right, her heart stopped. So we had to do CPR and then put her on a temporary pump called ECMO, and then another temporary pump, and then eventually we fitted an artificial heart pump called Medtronic HY, which is quite expensive. But at that time, they had some resources, and somebody helped from a charity from London funded it. And after that, they went back. And then, in spite of that, she became sick. The right side of the heart became sick, and the pump got infected in Pakistan, and she was very sick for the last 2 years. And they don't have facilities to monitor this pump, so I had to be constantly in touch with their physicians. And eventually, she needed something to be done. And by this time, they had run out of money. So she was a single mother. Getting a visa to come to this country was a challenge. So we tried our best, and eventually she came here. And they had absolutely no money. And she was very sick. Half the time she would be unconscious because she had a very severe leak of one valve called aortic valve. So the options to treat her were not simple.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually we run a trust along with Mrs. Chitra Vishnuvan called Aishwarya Trust. So through that trust and my own personal finances, and then a few patients helped, we funded the entire operation for totally free for them. We got a donor heart. I think it came from Delhi. And that heart was too big for her, so actually the chest had to be kept open for almost 10 days. And then she made a slow but good recovery, and now she's ready to go back. So
how much this would have cost? And
not less than 35 lakhs, perhaps even more.
What was that that made it so close to your heart that doctors like you put your personal finances and made sure the whole thing was free for the family?
It is because, see, she's a young girl. She could be my daughter. And once you treated them for so long, every life matters. We can't treat the whole world, but certainly we can make a difference to those who come in contact with us.
Right. And doctor, when it comes to organ transplant and organ donations, Tamil Nadu, particularly Chennai, is being seen as the capital in the whole country. In this case, it's an international patient you're dealing with. What will this mean?
Yeah, actually Tamil Nadu will have a lot of donations, but we always have Indian patients, so it will be allotted to Indians, and we are taking these organs for the Indian patients. Now in other states there are donations, but most of the times the organs are not used, because in this case there was an organ in Delhi, and none of the hospitals wanted that organ. Now, getting that organ also requires some kind of logistics. In fact, you have to get it from a chartered flight, which again will cost money. So many of the patients will refuse that. Luckily, she got a heart. There was no request, so it was allotted to her. Otherwise, international patients, it's very difficult to get the organs.
And how special is this when the patient is from Pakistan?
Yeah, we don't look at the patients as patients. When they are sick, we try to help them. And especially in her case, she had severe heart failure, she had a cardiac arrest, she was on ECMO, then we put an artificial heart, she went back to Pakistan. Then she came back because she had some leak in the aortic valve. She needed the transplant desperately, otherwise she wouldn't have survived. So luckily she got after waiting for 10 months.
Is it time that Indian insurance, health insurance, doctor, also includes organ transplant?
Not only organ transplant, today's technology, a lot of very sick patients can be saved. But that comes at a cost. So we really need a comprehensive health policy to treat patients with technology which actually exists. Because I know this is so much of debate about charges and all that might be true. But the British had an NHS. They started, I think, in 1948. I always maintain that if they had stayed back for 2 more years, we would have inherited an NHS perhaps. So because the existing scenario, 95% of patients paying out-of-pocket expenses, it puts a huge burden on all of us because there is a definite cost involved in care like this. So hospitals also undergo a lot of expense in treating them. So we really need a serious thing and perhaps a public policy on how to, and with each decade, with more and more advances, this is going to get more and more complicated. How to make it affordable for people to access the very technology which makes them live.
Right. Once you're back home, would you be in touch with the doctors?
Yes.
What's your message for those people in India?
Hindi bolo.
I don't know.
Hello.
थोड़ा बहुत कुछ भी मैं डॉक्टर्स के लिए जो स्टार्टिंग है कुछ एक बात कहना चाहती हूँ तक बाला सर ने इतना हेल्प किया है बस एक कॉल पर सर सुरेश राव का भी सर बाला का भी फ़ौरन आंसर आता है हर मामले से इवन कुछ भी आयशा के लिए लास्ट टाइम जो आयशा की सर्जरी हुई थी सर बाला ने सुबह 8 बजे मुझे कॉल करे कि वहाँ के सीनियर डॉक्टर से बात करवाएं आप और वहाँ मैं और डॉक्टर्स ढूंढ रही हूँ मैं किससे बात करवाऊँ वहाँ पे भी कोई नहीं था लेकिन पैसों के मामले में सर बाला को मैंने कॉल किया सर मेरे पास पैसे नहीं है मैं कैसे लेकर आऊँ आप यहाँ आओ हम देख लेंगे बस सर का एक ही आंसर होता था आप यहाँ आ जाएँ हम यहाँ पर कर लेंगे तो इससे मैं बेफिक्र होकर आई थी और इवन मेरे घर वाले भी सारे अभी तक सब दुआ देते हैं आपको और पूरी फैमिली आपकी टीम को कि बहुत हमारे साथ कोऑपरेट किया है.
You said she used to make at least 100 calls every day to you?
Certainly I lost count. But we always make it a point to answer patients' calls because even if 95 of them are trivial, one call could be important which can make a difference to somebody's life.
You like cricket?
Yes.
When there is India-Pakistan match, people look Pakistan like enemies or Pakistanis look India like enemies. How do you see India?
It's good. And
Not enemies.
No, sir, not enemies. But as a cricket or simple match, but people thinking is enemy, like a war.
What does India mean to you now? A very friendly country?
Yeah,
friendly
it's
people?
yes, all people are very friendly. Yes.
For you?
friendly.
What's that you like about Indian food?
Every food,
Chennai food?
Chennai food, normal.
Dosa, idli?
Yes, good.
Dosa, idli.
Not idli, but dosa is good.
Right. Thank you very much, doctors, for your time and wish you all the best, Aisha and Sano. So, an Indian heart beating in a young Pakistani. Certainly a touching, heart-rending story from Chennai, how doctors have come together to help a young Pakistani lady get a brand new heart and give her a new lease of life. At the MGM Healthcare in Chennai with Suresh, Sam Daniel, Find TV.